Hi, Khai, Phong, how are you?
I'm happy.
Good. Okay, we can start the lesson. You did speaking test 1 and reading test 1. Let's start. What's wrong? I thought you were crying. Because you went like this. Okay. Never mind. Right. Look and read. Choose the correct words and write them on the lines. There is one example. This is the 9th letter of the alphabet, and it is the letter I. I. You do number 1. Number 1.
Number one, this is one of the days of the weekend.
Of the weekend. One of the days of the weekend.
Of the weekend. It's Monday.
One of the days of the weekend. Weekend.
It's a Saturday.
Yes, very good. It's Saturday. Okay, next one. Number 2.
This is the letter before H in the
Alphabet. Alphabet.
Letter G.
Next one. This is the 5th.
First letter of the alphabet.
A, B,
C,
D,
E.
E. So which one is it? It's E, the letter E. Okay.
This is the day between Sunday and
Tuesday.
It's Monday.
Yes, very good. Well done. Monday. Good job.
This letter is near the end of the alphabet. Is letter S.
X. Yes, the letter X. Okay. Let me just, I don't know. Okay. Okay, Tom. Hello.
Hello.
Can you do the last one for me? This is the day. Number 6.
Number 6.
What does this say? Can you read that? This is the day.
This is the day
Before.
Before
Thursday.
Thursday.
What day is before Thursday?
It's Thursday.
Okay, Tom, you have 2 options here. You can choose Friday or you can choose Wednesday. What day is before Thursday?
Friday.
Before. Before Thursday.
Before Thursday.
What day is before Thursday?
Before Friday.
Khai Phong, what day is before Thursday?
This is the day before Thursday. It's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday. Yes, very good. Wednesday. We're gonna go to speaking. Okay. Let's look at the picture. Tom, please tell me. I can't hear you. In the first picture,
In the first picture,
the helicopter.
the first picture in the helicopter red.
In the first picture, the helicopter is red.
The picture.
In the first picture,
In the first picture,
The helicopter
The helicopter
is
red.
but
Is but in the second picture, the helicopter is yellow.
Khai Phong.
In the fourth picture, the frog is standing on
There
the
is-
helicopter.
In the first picture, there is a frog
There is a frog
on the
helicopter, but in the second picture, there is a bird on the helicopter.
Tam.
In the picture,
In the first picture,
girl. In the first picture, the girl.
in the first picture, there is a girl. What is she doing?
She is
What is she doing?
is
Okay, Khai Phong, in the first picture,
In the first picture, a girl is flying the kite. But in the second picture, a boy is flying the kite.
good job. Okay, Khai Phong.
In the first picture,
the pilot.
In the first picture, the pilot is wearing a hat. But in the second picture, the pilot is not wearing a hat.
Tam.
in the first picture, the girl is t-shirt is red.
But in the second picture,
But in the second picture, the boy is wearing a yellow t-shirt and the green t-shirt.
Green trousers. Green trousers.
Mm.
Okay, can you
Green
those differences for me? From the top?
Mm. Uh,
Tom, can you read the differences from the top, please? All of them.
um,
Phong, can you read the differences for me, please?
Yeah, teacher. In the first picture, the helicopter is red, but in the second picture, the helicopter is yellow. In the first picture, there is a fog on the helicopter, but in the second picture, it's a bird on the helicopter. In the first picture, the pilot is wearing a hat, but in the second picture,
The pilot.
the pilot is not wearing a hat. In the second picture,
In the first picture,
in the first picture, a gun is flying the kite, but in the second picture, a boy is flying the kite. In the first picture, the gun is wearing a red t-shirt and blue trousers, but in the second picture, the boy is wearing a yellow t-shirt and green trousers.
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 Yes, there's an S. Okay, Tom, your turn.
in the first picture, the helicopter is red, but in the second picture, the helicopter is yellow. In the first picture, there is a frog on the helicopter, but in the second picture, there is a fly on
A bird.
helicopter.
There is a bird.
There is a bird. In the in but in the second picture, the pilot is not wearing a hat.
Can you read this one again? I didn't hear you.
In the first picture, the pilot is wearing a hat, but in the second picture, the pilot is wearing a hat.
In the second picture, the pilot is
Not wearing a hat. In the first picture, a gun is flying the kite.
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 Kite. But in the second picture, a boy is flying the kite. In the first picture, the girl is wearing a red t-shirt and blue trousers. But in the second picture, the boy is wearing a yellow t-shirt and green trousers.
Okay. Tom,
The first picture, a helicopter is red. But the pictures are the
but in the second picture,
The second picture, helicopter is yellow.
Khai Phong?
In the fourth picture, the gun is flying a kite. But in the second picture, the boy is flying the kite.
What about their clothes? What are they wearing? In the first picture?
In the fourth picture, the gun is wearing a red t-shirt and blue
Blue.
trousers. But in the second picture, the boy is wearing a yellow t-shirt and green trousers.
Tam? Your microphone is off, Tam. I can't hear you. In the first picture?
In the first
Lại cho con
picture,
lên của con.
the pilot wearing a hat.
Can you repeat that? Sorry. In the first picture, the pilot?
In the first picture, a pilot is wearing a hat. But in the second picture, the pilot is not wearing a hat.
Good job. Well done. Okay. And the last one, Khai Phong.
In the first picture, the frog on
There
the
is
helicopter.
not
Yes, there is
a
a
frog
frog on the helicopter. But in the second picture, there is a bird on the helicopter.
Yeah, okay. Oh, wow. Okay. There's actually another one. In the first picture, there are 2 clouds, but in the second picture, there are 3 clouds. Okay. Let's look at the pictures quickly. So in the first picture, Mrs. Brown is in the garden. She's putting cake on the table. Jim is playing with his cars and his sister is watching him. She's watching him. Okay. Next. Jim's sister is climbing on a chair. She's looking at the cake. She wants some cake. Then Jim's sister is taking some cake. Now finally Mrs. Brown is looking at the cake. She's saying to Jim, "You bad boy." You mustn't eat the cake. Jim is thinking, but I didn't take the cake. His sister is eating the cake and laughing. Okay. So I will write the first part. No. Okay, Tom, what's happening in the next picture?
First,
No, what's happening in the next picture? Next.
next,
Can you speak up, please, Tom? I can't hear you. Next.
next,
Who's this?
sister,
Hmm? Whose sister is this? Jim's sister.
sister,
What is she doing?
is,
Hmm? What is she doing?
is,
What is Jim's sister doing? Kai Fong?
mama,
Who is this?
No, the sister is clamping the chair.
On a chair. Jim's sister is climbing on a chair.
On a chair. And she
She's
is
looking.
she is looking at the cake.
Does she want some cake?
Cakes at the cake. She wants some cake.
Okay. Tom, what is Jim's sister doing now? What did she do?
the, the sister
What is she doing? What does she have in her hand?
She, she,
What does she have in her hand? Hmm? What did she take?
she is taking the cat.
Okay. So Jim's sister is taking some cake.
And so
Hey, Tom, finally. Who's this?
it's Miss Miss Brown.
Mrs. Brown. Do you think she's angry? She's upset.
Uh,
Hmm? Do you think what is she saying to Jim? What is she saying to Jim?
it's Miss Brown. Miss Brown.
Yeah, what is she saying to Jim?
Young.
Um, what is she saying to Jim? Hmm?
It's
What is Jim thinking now?
it looks blue.
Jim's thinking, but I didn't eat the cake. I didn't eat any cake.
I will eat the any cake. This
Just hold on. His sister is eating cake and laughing. Okay, Tom, can you read that story for me?
is Mr. Brown is in the garden. He is putting a cake on the table. He is playing with his toy cars. His sister is watching him.
Next.
Next, Jim's sister is climbing on
Climbing.
the chair.
Jim's sister is climbing.
Climbing on the chair. She's looking at the cake. She wants some cake. Jim's sister is cutting some cake. Finally, Miss Brown
Mrs.
is
Brown.
Mrs. Brown is looking at the cake. She tired to Jim. You bad boy. You must not eat the cake. Jim is thinking, but I did eat any cake. His sister is eating cake and laughing.
Okay. Khai Phong, your turn.
Firstly,
Mrs.
Mrs. Brown is in the garden. She is putting a cake on the table. Jim is playing with his toy cars. His sister is watching him. Next, Jim's sister is climbing on
Climbing.
on a chair. She is looking at the cat. She
is looking at the... No, Khai Phong. Now you need to concentrate. I know you guys are trying to read fast, but there's a full stop. And there's a full stop. And there's a full stop. You don't read... Next, Jim's sister is climbing on a chair. She's looking at the cake. She wants some cake. There's a stop. Next. Jim's sister is climbing on a chair. She is looking at the cake. She wants some cake.
Next, Jim's sister is climbing on a chair. She is looking at the cakes. She wants some cake.
She wants
some cake. She wants some cake. Then Jim's sister is taking some cake. Taking some cake. Finally, Mrs. Brown is looking at the cake. She is saying to Jim, "You bad boy, you must not eat the cake." Jim is thinking, but I didn't eat any cake. His sister is eating cake and laughing.
Okay. So when we see these little things, it means someone is speaking. It's someone's voice. Okay. So finally, Mrs. Brown is looking at the cake. She's saying to Jim, "You bad boy, you must not eat the cake." And Jim is thinking, "But I don't eat cake." His sister is eating cake and laughing. Okay. I'm going to take the words away, and then I want you to tell me the story without the words. Tam? Start the story. Firstly,
Miss Brown is in the garden. Car.
Can you read it again? Because I lost connection. Firstly,
Firstly,
Mrs. Brown
Miss Brown
is in the garden.
is in the garden. It's in the garden. She's putting a cake on the table. Jim is playing with his toy car. His sister is watching him.
Next,
Next, Jim's sister is climbing on
climbing. Jim's sister is climbing
climbing on the chair. She's looking at the cake. He was some cake. Then Jim's sister is cutting some cake.
taking some cake.
Taking some cake.
Finally,
Finally, Miss
Mrs. Brown
Brown is
looking
looking at the cake.
She's saying to Jim,
Miss say to them, the bright boy, you must not eat the cake. Jim is thinking, but I should eat and the cake. His sister is eating cake and laughing.
and laughing. Okay. Kai Fong, your turn.
Firstly, Mrs. Brown is
In the
garden. She is putting the cake on the table. Jim is
Jim is playing
with
his
toy
car.
cars.
His
Miss sister Jim is watching him. Next,
Jim's sister
is clumping
on
a chair. She is looking at the cake on the table. Then
Jim's sister
is
Jim's sister is taking
Jim's sister is taking some cake. Finally, Mrs. Brown is
looking
at the gym.
Looking at the cake. And she's saying to Jim.
She is
saying to Jim.
Saying to Jim.
Saying. She is saying.
Saying. She is
saying to Jim.
To Jim. Juice it passed by. You shouldn't cake at the cake. Jim is thinking.
I didn't eat cake.
I didn't eat cake.
His sister.
Jim's sister eating the cake and laughing.
And laughing. Okay. Good. Okay. We don't have much time left, so I'm going to start with the next one. We might not finish it. Okay, in the first row of pictures, the book is different.
The book is different because the lemon, the pineapple, and the orange are fruits, and you cannot eat the book, but you reading.
You can read it. You can read it. Okay. In the next row, what is different?
The spider is different because the tomato, the ringing phone, and the red
Are what color are they?
Red.
But the spider is?
But the spider is black.
Okay, Tom. Which one is different? The horse is different. Or you can say picture 2. What are they doing in picture? The girl is?
Swimming.
But in picture 2?
But in picture 2, a horse.
Is riding a horse. Okay, and then the last one, Khai Phong. Which one is different? Picture 4 is different because in picture 1, picture 2, and picture 3, the animals are on top of the table. But in picture 4, the rabbit is under the table. Okay. That is all we have time for today, guys. Khai Phong, are you happy with your lesson?
Yeah, teacher.
Tam, are you happy?
Yes.
Okay. Enjoy your weekend. Have fun. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye,
Thank
teacher.
you.
Goodbye, teacher.